Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles, elders, and brothers on down at Great Millstone. Salutations to the whole elect. This is your brother Rai Banyamian here to share another lesson. And the title of this lesson is Argument Over Parking Leads to Shooting, as per the title of the article by Fox 29 Philadelphia. So when I get into this article, you will see, how important it is to know Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to learn the truth. You understand? And especially to have the right leaders that teach wisdom, humility, the right doctrine, right? But at Great Millstone, we have learned, from Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Ramla, so on and so forth. And they also learn from Elder Abba Bivens, right? So this word is, is important. And it's not only just to learn, but to practice it in real time, because we have to show our faith through our works too. You understand? Not just be a hearer of the word, but a doer also. As the days go by, and as iniquities start to pile up, the love of many shall wax cold. People is going to get worse and worse, and the truth and the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai will not be in their hearts, right? Nor will will they think about him, but they will not think about heavenly wisdom, right? Whatever it is in their power to do, whatever earthly wisdom or carnal wisdom that they have, that is what they're gonna use, right, to remedy problems in this society. And as you see, it's becoming worse every day. The behaviors of the people on the road, in your day-to-day life, people are acting weird or strange, and it's not a new thing. It's happening, because we are at the end, and it's gonna increasingly get worse. And this is why you need to put on the whole armor of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? So that you can make the best spiritual decision in these last days, man, because you don't want to be caught up out here. You know what I'm saying? So there's a good read. I wanted to do this a few days ago on the 4th itself, but I finally closed out. But I'm now getting to it. I had it planned and everything, just didn't do it, you know what I mean? But call them Laba now here about Shimmy. I wish I was able to do it now. So Lord willing, it be edifying, unto the elect. Alright, so I'm gonna read the article and share a few scriptures in between. And I'm gonna see if I can play the video too. I think there was a video here. Yeah. Alright, so it says argument over parking leads to unusual road rage shooting injuring 2, says officials. Alright. It says under the video, road rage turns into shootout in Northeast Philadelphia Walmart parking lot. Alright, it says an argument over a parking matter escalated into a shooting at a Northeast Philadelphia Walmart, injuring an 18-year-old female and the driver of one of the vehicles. The brief, an argument over a parking matter escalated into a shooting. I read that part already. 3 juveniles were in one of the vehicles when the shooting broke out in the parking lot. The incident was captured on multiple cameras as the stores were packed with shoppers. 2 people were shot and injured in what Philadelphia police are calling an unusual road rage shooting in a busy Northeast Philadelphia parking lot, Walmart parking lot. I mean, it's not unusual. We are living in these last days, man. So these things will become usual. You know what I mean? This is what we know. Philadelphia police say the drivers of the Jeep and a truck got into a fight regarding a parking matter in a busy Northeast Philadelphia Walmart parking lot. Officials say drivers believed they were parking too close to each other. The argument escalated and they both pulled weapons and began shooting. I remember seeing this report over the July the 4th holiday. One of the guys that had the Jeep, it was a brand new Jeep. And with new things, new vehicles, you have a certain kind of anxiety that comes with it. You don't want it to get dented. You don't want it to get scratched up. You want to preserve the paint and the newness of it for as long as possible, right? So, I guess he had that kind of anxiety when the other vehicle was parked too close to him. But, wisdom could always be used, man. But I'll read a little bit more. Let me see where the article goes. It says, according to authorities, the driver of the Jeep shot the truck while a family of 5, was inside of it. All right, so he wasn't even thinking. It says an 18-year-old girl in the truck was shot in the shoulder. She was taken to Jefferson Torresdale Medical Center and is listed as stable. The 50-year-old driver of the truck was grazed by a bullet and treated at the scene. You see, the thing is, if you have a new vehicle, right, both of you are up in age and you want to park close to the store, there are some things that comes with it, man. When you park in any parking lot close to a store, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna be parked too close to another vehicle, unless you're probably parked in a handicap area where they give more room for a handicapped vehicle, right? So if he was wise, what he would do is park further away from the store where there are usually less cars and then walk down to the vehicle. But these people, they don't think like that. You know what I mean? And even if, you do park close to the store and somebody park close to you, there's things that could be utilized, wisdom could be utilized to prevent from hitting another vehicle, especially when entering or exiting a vehicle. Be circumspect when opening your door. Also maneuvering after opening your door to get out or enter the vehicle without your door or what have you hitting the other person's vehicle. So there's things that you could do, in either scenario. But the best option would be to park a little further higher up from the store and walk down to the store, where there's a less likely chance of somebody parking, closer to you. Because for convenience sake, everyone would like to park close to the store. This way they just jump out, go get what they have to get. When they exit the store with their goods, their vehicle is right there. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but in these last days, extra wisdom needs to be used. So this is 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. All right, as you see, they use earthly weapons to handle their business. All right, but the scripture says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to the pulling down of strongholds." Right, casting down imaginations, right, all obstacles and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach, right? You understand? So we have to use the word. You understand? to break down all this nonsense, man. You know, this is our reasoning, the spiritual reasoning of the word of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, wherein you wouldn't use no carnal guns or whatever, you understand, to handle the situation, you know. And this is how we obey the Most High, studying of this word and putting it, into practice, man. Being not a hearer of the word, but a doer also. The first thing that ran into their mind was argument. Scriptures talk about not traveling in the way of a bold, fellow. Especially for two grown men, right? There's things that could be done. And if somebody's in your way, you tell them, but let your words be seasoned, with salt. So this is how, we are taught to obey the Most High, right? By accepting this word and by doing it, also. It says, dig deeper. It says, boat driver remained at the scene and spoke with police. The Walmart was open for business and was packed with customers, see? So they could have injured other people too. Heading in and out of the store when the shooting took place. No other injuries were reported. Surveillance cameras are widespread throughout the parking lot, and police were able to watch as the shooting took place. What we don't know, there is no information on whether either driver will face any charges, and that concludes the end of the article. You understand? So they were both fools, man. Going back into the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 16. See, and this is why it's good to study. Read Ecclesiastes, Ecclesiastical Sirach, the book of Psalms. Where King David, he had different adversities, man. Not only with, with King Saul at the time, but he spoke about many of his enemies, and a lot of times he had to hide. A lot of times he had to hide and wait for, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua to fight his battles and stuff for him. He used, a lot of prudence and, wisdom, and he feared the Lord. And this is what we need to do in these last days if we are to navigate these great and terrible times that are to come. All right. So this is Proverbs 12 and verse 16, Salakia. It says, a fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth his shame, right? So he used wisdom. Prudent man, he used wisdom. And even tell it that here in the NLT, it says, a fool is quick-tempered, but a wise person stays calm when insulted, right? So it goes back to the situation here when two vehicles are parked closely, right? There's things that could be done to prevent, unnecessary confrontation, especially when it leads to the firing of a weapon. Because think about it, when you introduce a weapon into any situation, is to injure or kill someone is a serious matter. All right. Two men speaking, using wisdom, things could be, remedied that would benefit both people. But when you introduce, a weapon into it, is a blatant statement that you're there to injure or kill if you don't have your way. All right. So that's a fool's resort, and the men are up there in age, So you would think that with the gray hairs of these men that wisdom would be produced, but that wasn't the case. So this is why we need to be wise, man. All right. Listen to the apostles, your camp leaders, right? And read, study, right? And pray to the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to give you proper decision making, man. Spiritual decision making. So this is, and I ended with this. This is Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. It says, trust in Yahweh with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding, right? In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. Right? So you're praying to Yahweh Hashem, you're reading, you're studying, you're listening to the elders, camp leaders, and brothers' lessons, right? Which is full of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You understand? And you're following it. So when you end up in situations like this, you would know how to navigate the situation, even if you have a weapon. And if you don't have a weapon, you would know how to, maneuver the situation without escalating to a fight or an argument. Alright? So study to show thyself approved, man. Read your Proverbs, your Corinthians, your Psalms, your Ecclesiastes, so on and so forth, and pray and ask the Lord for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. People are at their wits' end, and they will only get worse as the days move on. The days are shorter, so as the days are shorter, people's temper would be shorter. The time for reasoning is less and less and less. People are more animalistic, unreasonable. Alright, so trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in these last days. So that's it, through the Spirit. Until the next time, Shalom.